And we're back with another segment of On the Record with Tiffany
and Kevin
here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Notice how she paused on that, like,
No, I didn't. I was letting you say your little tired and Kevin. I was letting you say it yourself.
Yeah. All right. So what's this next segment on, Tiffany? What we covering? My favorite topic?
Politics.
That's right. Politics. I love it. All right. So
Kevin gets to sound crazy. Go ahead.
All right. So all right.
You get to see what I live with on a daily basis.
So I was watching a show that Tiffany watches from time to time and sits there and argues with The View. Oh my God.
View.
The View.
This I love The View.
I don't.
It's very interesting. Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
All right. So one of the topics on there was being a black Republican an oxymoron?
Well, now, I posed that question to you.
You posed that to me, right?
Yes.
That question
is it?
I don't think so, right? Mm-hmm. Because I think one of the things that you constantly we bring up, right, which is freedom, opportunity, growth, and what's the fourth one?
Progress.
Freedom, growth, opportunity, and progress, right? Mm-hmm. So I think both parties want to achieve that. I think the Democrats want to achieve that. I know my party wants to achieve that. The difference is, how do you get there? And so to answer your question, is being a black Republican an oxymoron? I think if you're a Candace Owens type Republican.
Now, why you always got to?
Because I don't like her. Because I think she is a plantation Republican. And let me tell you what I mean by that.
Now, she uses that phrase as well.
Well, yeah, she uses that phrase because she's one. Because she is a black person who talks to white Republicans about
a certain segment of
the Republican base. You're right. You're right. That's not good. Mm-hmm. She is a black Republican who talks to a certain segment of the Republican Party about black people as to why they're not Republican.
She excoriates black people.
Yeah, she excoriates.
Says negative things.
That's
about
a big
black
word.
People.
She says it all the time. And so my Republicanism is a B1 Republican, which means I'm black.
Like being black.
I like being black. I enjoy being black. And when I talk to Republicans, I'm talking to black people as to why they should be Republicans. And
as to why we should engage. And that does not mean voting a party line.
Yes.
That means
involved in the Republican Party.
And having your voice, views, and desires heard.
Yeah. So your terms you'll hear from me, B1. You'll also hear.
Injected into policy.
Yeah, and injected into policy.
Into legislation at the local level and at the state level and at the federal level. Once you have that, then that's how you get what you choose.
You're saying a lot. Look at you. Your ideas are well thought out.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
But you hear us say, hear me say.
There must be representation. You want to be effective. You do not want another party to get into office and you hear crickets, or you only hear these talking heads saying things that are getting them paid, but not getting your neighborhood, not getting the economic development and the dollars into the businesses, into the neighborhoods, into our places that we need them in.
Yeah, and the Republican Party, and Tiffany gets mad when I say this because she wants me to reach across the aisle. Okay, the Republican Party is the party of winners right now. Who do you want advocating for your cause? You want Mitch McConnell or Nancy Pelosi? I'm going with Mitch all day, every day, hands down, because he's a winner. Here in the state of Texas, the Republican Party.
Yes, but he has to have, but he has to understand what he needs to be winning on for us.
Yes, and so you want a seat at the table of power.
Because if you're a winner, but the win goes against me, I don't care about you being a winner.
All right.
You need to win for me, brother.
So
I want you winning for me.
Are you gonna let me finish?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Ooh, girl, that coffee got you going. But the Republican Party is the winning party, and you want a seat.
I need you to help us.
You want a seat at the seat of power, right? Which is the Republican Party. We want there to be B1s, right? We want there
Black
to be
first
black first. We want there to be foundational black Americans, ADOS, American descendants of slaves, however, whatever term you want. We want those people at the table of power participating. I don't want you to just go out and vote Republican. I want you to participate in the Republican Party here in the state of Texas at the local levels. Because what you're going to find out is that there are a lot of people who believe and think like you, but they don't have enough they don't have people available who will stand by them. You know what? This is what I want to see. I want to see on the front page of the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, and Fox, right, is what can the Democratic Party do to earn back the black vote? Because I want to see 75 to 80% of the black vote swing toward the Republican Party. People say right now there's this debate: should we go out and vote? Should we vote for the Democrats? And so most people say, no, we're not voting for the Democrats. Okay, are you going to vote for the Republican Party? Oh, no. Then it's useless. I want to swing 75 to 80% of the party to the vote and participation.
But to me, the issue is, see, what you're saying is vote.
I'm saying participate.
The issue is not should people vote. The issue is, to me, the crux of your vote is what are you voting for, right? And so in order to have what you want to vote for, you must participate in deciding what will be voted for. What are the ballot issues? What are we asking for? If you participate in both parties and know what the argument is, but specifically in the Republican Party, because there's no participation right now. There's very little participation.
Yeah, at the local level as
well. At the local level of African Americans. So you don't see our values from our neighborhoods and our desires for our communities being put forth. You have to have the numbers of people within the party to shape that policy. You want to shape policy. That's like, to me, that's the point in engaging in any political system, is to shape policy.
The place where you and I disagree is I don't think we have to have representation in the Democratic Party. I don't think so at all.
See, I think you have to have representation in every
Here's
party.
Here's why, right? Because right now, you have a whole group of people online and elsewhere black people who are upset with Joe Biden, going, the Democrats haven't done anything, blah, 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 but you still voted for him.
Well, and I'm going to say...
But you still voted. Like last week, you said over the last 30, 40 years, our inner cities, right, have continued to downgrade, right?
They're continually
to downgrade.
And we still don't have the economic...
We got Joe Biden, we had 4 years of Trump, oh my God, what a hot mess. And then before that, we had Obama, 8 years, right? And before Obama, we had Bush. And then we've had a run with Democratic presidents, right? But the black vote is still underappreciated. They will ask you, like I saw the other day, where Biden's got Jay-Z to try to go out and get black people to vote. Oh, you want my vote now, but I don't get to participate in the shaping of the policy, right? Mm-hmm. You want my vote now. Yeah. Now my vote's important. I'm a 3 a.m. booty call. Yeah, I know you hate that term. I shouldn't say that publicly.
It is vulgar.
But it's vulgar, but it's very accurate. And that's how you have a lot of black Americans feeling. So my thing is, let's participate.
When he says that, he's talking about the vote. Like, we don't see anybody in our neighborhoods actually doing anything in terms of bringing those economic dollars in.
Yep.
Other than showing up at the time, right when it's time to campaign for president, right when it's time to campaign in the in-between, to get that African American vote to swing their way.
Well, I don't want to give you my vote nor my participation in the Democratic Party.
Yet the follow-up with...
is horrible. Because nobody's held accountable at the local level. So my thing is that let's participate in the Republican Party. And now I have people go, well, they got racists in the Republican Party. Yeah, they got people who have different views, right? It's no different than the majority of...
Now, if you're black, you know doggone well there's racists everywhere.
Yeah, but there are a lot of black people who go to a predominantly white church. right? And participate there, and you incur microaggressions, misunderstandings. So you take that same mindset and go over into the Republican Party, where you're sitting at the table of true power. Because true power is who has the will. Truth to power. Now, if you're going to be Candace Owens,
we have to speak truth to power.
If you're going to be Candace Owens, Larry Elder, if you're going to be Alan West, right? And I'm calling out names. You don't need to participate in the party. And I'm going to use rhetorical phrases. We don't need plantation Negro Republicans. We need B1. Black first, who see it through a black lens. We need FBA, whatever, that's another term, Foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slaves, right? We need those individuals who are going to be advocating for change, right? So we can achieve freedom, opportunity, growth, prosperity, but in a dignified way that's consistent with what we want to say we're doing it on our own, right? We are making efforts to help ourselves. Nobody wants a handout. So that's what you hear the elders.
But what we do want is an even playing field. And don't move the goalposts, because that is what we see.
So if you're going to come in as elders, West, Owens, right, just saying all black people need to do is they don't want a handout, you're going to be constant negativity on black people. We don't need you. Stay out. We got two. They're getting paid. They're getting paid plenty to promote that message.
They got enough. They get more than enough press
to hold that message. But what we want at the local level in the state of Texas is we want black people to participate in the Republican Party. Black people who are willing to go in and build coalitions, right? Build coalitions within the party so that our voice can be heard at the true table of power, which is in Texas, is the Republican Party.
And I just want to point out that the stuff that they say that's negative against the black community, much of it is a lie from the pit of hell. You know, there is love in our community. There is hard work, an incredible work ethic.
Correct.
That comes out of our urban communities and out of our rural communities. And anyone who cannot see the value in that and cannot speak to the value in that, and they are melanated like me and like my spouse, should have their face banged up against the wall.
Not literally, Tiffany. Don't go promoting violence.
I'm sorry.
now.
I'm not promoting violence. Proverbially.
But this is, so we're rhetorical. So we're getting stirred up around this one because here at the local level.
When you bring up those names, that makes me want to move some furniture up in here.
Yeah. So, but we need the Republican Party in the state of Texas is a true seat of power. And if you can't see that, I mean, you're blind. Right. And so,
but but we also have to realize that with anything that is worth having, you must engage.
Yep, you got to engage.
And when there's a power, then one has to be bold enough and strong enough to speak truth to power.
Yeah.
And the only place that you can speak truth
and
to power
and
change is by going within the power structure and working within that power structure. And in this state, the power structure is Republican. So get into the Republican Party and work within that power structure to put out what you believe to be correct, what you need in your community, what you want to see happen on your school boards, in your businesses.
But we want you to be a thinker.
Districts.
I don't want you to be someone who we don't.
But we are thinkers.
Well, hold on.
So we don't have to ask us to be thinkers.
Oh, come on.
Because we are thinkers.
Now, most of now you've been in some of these Republican events, and some of the black people there aren't thinkers.
No. I'm talking about black people. When I say we are in that context, I'm talking about black folks are thinkers.
Well, let's talk about it. Hold on. Let's talk
a lot of things.
Let's talk about the reality. Let's answer the question, oxymoron, when you're in the Republican Party. Now, when you go to the events, there's different events there, right? And you're going to have people who will just go along and just repeat whatever talking points are there. Well, we think that critical race theory, they don't even know what critical race theory is, right? And they're just talking out the sides of their behinds, right? We want people who are thinkers, who are well thought out, who understand the positions, and who will challenge the status quo in the party.
But people who love their communities and want to improve.
Yeah, who want the freedom, the opportunity, the growth, right?
That's right.
And the progress.
That's right. That's what the first African Americans in politics were Republicans.
Yeah, all Republicans.
And it was because they believed in freedom, opportunity, growth, and progress. And that is what this is about. So let's bring it back to what we started as.
Okay, so now let's answer a couple questions. I don't know where we're at on time for this segment. All right, we're all right. All right, so tell us what you think. Come visit our YouTube channel, On the Record with Tiffany. Leave comments on here on why we're right or wrong.
You've been listening to us on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, and we want to hear what you think. So come on in, tell us what you think.